Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Crafty Hour. It's Deanna here. We are just going to get loaded up and get everybody on board. There we go for our Crafty Hour using Winter Veil. Good morning, everybody. Welcome and happy Thursday. If you're joining us, hop on, say hello. We're just going to hang out here for a moment to get everybody on board. Looks like you guys are coming on fast and furious. Good morning. If somebody can maybe make a comment. Yesterday we were having, oh, there we go. Tracy Lynn, thank you. And Gay, oh, thank you. Good morning, guys. That helps. Yesterday we lost our comments about halfway through the live, and then they magically came back. So Facebook is kind of playing with us. So I'm glad to see that I can see all of your comments. Hello, hello. So we're going to be playing with Winter Veil today, and I did post some homework. It was actually quite a bit of homework, a little bit more than normal, so hopefully you guys all found that. I tried to make it as easy as possible to find the homework, and as you can see, I did mine last night, all my little check marks to make sure that I have everything. Hello, hello everyone. It's breezy here too, not just in Missouri. It's a little chilly here as well. Hello. Thank you guys all so much for hopping on. Hello, good morning, Courtney. It has been a long morning. I have had nothing but email problems today. I lost all of my emails as of yesterday, so we're working on getting it all back up and running. So it's been a long morning, so let's hope I am organized for you guys. Good morning. No, there are no longer any kits left, Pamela. This was a super one. And because we gave you guys this entire die set, which had a massive value, we couldn't get any more. We bought everything for this. I do know that we have some paper pads left. I saw some paper pads in the back that just came in. But I don't know if everything is here. Hello. All right, I'm going to get started because it is 10 o'clock. And just a couple things. Now, I have designed 3 cards for you. We're going to see how far we get through them all. I just want to remind you that this is a crafty hour. So a little different than a normal class. A normal class, we have a little bit of time to slow down, make sure everybody is following along fine. But with a crafty hour, we have 1 hour, and my goal is to give you as much as I can in that 1 hour. So if I were to go slow, we would get through 2 cards. If I speed it up a little bit, we are going to get through 3 cards. That's my goal. So thank you guys all so much. So that is what we're going to be doing, and don't forget, you can always watch this on replay. You can always go back and slow it down and pause it, etc. If you feel confident to go at the speed with me, you are more than welcome to as well. But just so you know, it is a little different than our typical card classes. Now, I did have you do some of this already for homework. So that was, again, listed on the sheet where I had you die cut out our snowy circles. We are going to be doing some other die cutting together, and this is where on your homework I asked you to bring the circles and squares. Now I'm going to use the tonic ones, which are the little scallops, but as I mentioned, you could also just go ahead and use the plain if you want as well. You'll get to see those different options. And then also you're going to need a circle die. I am, again, just going to use my scallop, so I'm just going to use these 2 die sets. And we're actually going to die cut these ones together. Now, in your paper pad, you had 3 of every paper. So more than enough for mine, for Courtney's, and then for you guys to make a whole bunch of extras. And then you also had 4 die cut sheets, 2 and 2. So 2 like this and 2 like that, okay? So for me, we're going to just use 1 set. And then for Courtney, later this afternoon, you'll get to use the other set too. Yes, Dawn, absolutely. You can use the Clipper Street ones too. They just have that stitching. Absolutely not a problem at all. Okay, we are going to get started. So hopefully you've got your homework. We are going to start with card 1. So I'm going to bring that in. Now for you guys that know me well, I love the teals and the silvers. They're just beautiful. We did have to make a little bit of an adjustment in order to take everybody for this class. So the first group that ordered right away, you guys all got this beautiful, beautiful white specialty paper in your kit. And then the second group, which I call the add-on group, because you guys almost didn't get to do it, you guys got 5 specialty sheets of different silvers. So some of you got glitter, some of you got foil, etc., etc. So do not panic with whatever you have. It's all going to work, okay? Now the teal is extra. It is what I use. Thank you guys so much. But I did mention on here that if you didn't have the teal foil, no panic. You can use silver foil. So if you didn't get the teal foil, this is, do you want to grab that pack from Sizzix? It is actually from Sizzix that we're going to use. If you didn't get it, don't panic. You can just do this with silver. It's totally going to work. So let's get started because we've got a lot to do. Now for this card, I told you to have your card base, which is a 5.5 by 5.5 card base. So that is your 5.5 card base. So go ahead and fold that in half and give it a good, oh yeah, frosted green, Dawn, is actually perfect for this as well. Thank you. Oh, no, the teal one, the new Stacy Parks. We just got it yesterday, I think. Back in stock. Okay, so we're going to make a square card. And this card can open with the fold at the top or the fold at the side. It's totally up to you. I'm going to have it with the fold at the top. Now, I'm going to use the teal foil. Feel free to use the silver foil if that is what you want. Not a problem at all. We're going to get my Sharpie here. And we are going to make a mat for our card. So we need it to be 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. That is just a little bit smaller than 5 1/2. So I'm going to put it into my trimmer. And we are going to take it to 5 3/8. Okay, so 5 3/8 is right in between 5 1/4 and 5 1/2. A little bit smaller than 5 1/2, a little bit bigger than 5 1/4. And we're going to make this into a square. So we're going to rotate it and do the same thing, 5 3/8. Okay. So that is our first one. Now the pile I am using is this one that came in at the end of November, I think it was, somewhere around there. We've got several shipments of these in, very, very popular, all the teal colors. So that's what we are going to use. Now, I had mentioned the scallops. Now, again, you can use whichever die sets you want. I like to use the scallop. And I'm going to cut a piece from the center of our mat. So that is for this matting right here. Now, if you don't have a die set, you can absolutely use, you know, just make a rectangle or a square out of your papers with a trimmer. You don't have to use the die, but this is going to save us money. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the biggest one, which happens to be approximately 4 1/4. I'm saying approximately closest count. Okay, so we're going to go with about 4 1/4. That's the biggest one. And we're just going to put it into the center like so. and we are going to die cut it out so we still have a border all the way around. So I'm just going to die cut it off to the side here. And then that is going to give us our next mat. And that's kind of like free, right? Because we don't need to worry about having the center in. So that's what I like to do. Okay, so I'm going to put my die set off to the side. And now we have our large square, which is 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. And then we have cut a square out of the center that is about 4 1/4. Okay, now if you're still die cutting, not a problem. I'm going to start gluing together. Just going to double check before I put glue on it, make sure I get that little white border all the way around, which I do. So now I'm going to start going ahead and gluing that. Like I said, the next card is a little bit more challenging. So that's the one that I definitely want to make sure we get through because it's got kind of a fun fold. I have done a similar card a long time ago, but this one is different. I have changed it up. Okay. So our first mat is down. Going to set it off to the side. And then we're going to go to all of the papers. Now you guys have a lot of papers. Let me see if I can tell you how many papers. Oh no, those are the toppers. You got a lot. You got, I think 36, maybe even more, 48, I can't remember. We're going to look for this one. Now this one is blue with white snowflakes. On the back, it is just gorgeous. Have a look for this paper. Important that you use the same one. There is a lot that are similar. I want you to use this one that has the wood on the back and it has some of the snowflakes. We're going to be using this side, but this will help you find it. So go through your papers and then we are going to cut this to go on top. Okay, now it doesn't matter which way you cut it because this paper is not directional for what we're going to be using it for. So whichever way you would like, we're going to cut it 5 1/4. And I don't need these extras, so I'm just going to set the extras off to the side. 5 1/4. And then we're going to rotate it and make it a square. So we'll rotate it again. 5 1/4. It's nice to use the 8 by 8 papers because you get a lot of extras that you can, of course, piece together, make another card with. Oh, love that teal foil. So when you put it on, you should get that pop of teal all the way around. Go ahead and glue it on. Now I like to have small borders, but of course, if you like bigger borders, you don't have to do those 1/8 measurements. You can always go bigger. Everybody doing okay? And if we don't get to our last card, I will post it. It is really the easiest, the last one. So we can always do that. Okay, so far so good. This is an easy one, guys. So far so good. We're going to cut another piece of paper. So this time I want you to find the baby blue striped paper. On the back side is this gray tone of holly leaves with some teal poinsettias. We're going to use that baby blue stripe. So as I mentioned, you've got 3 of everything. So go through, make sure they don't stick together. That sometimes happens. Okay, now this is going to be a smaller square. So for our blue, we are going to use our blue striped 4 by 4. And it's a square, so again, it's not going to matter which way you go ahead and cut that. So I'm going to put it to 4. That's cutting it right in half because our paper is 8 by 8. So 4 inches. And then I'm going to rotate it and cut at 4 again. So I have a 4 by 4. Now, we may need to adjust this. Let's have a look. And depending, I have not found a replacement yet. I am working with some. I'm going to trim mine slightly. I want to see a little bit more of my scallop. So hold it up to whichever die you used. If you use the clipper ones, you might want to see the stitching. So go ahead and just take a little bit off until you are happy with it. Always a little better to cut it a little bigger. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. So you may need to adjust yours just slightly depending which die you used. And then go ahead and glue those two together as well. In this teal foil pack that I'm using, there is there's 5 different ones. There's a teal glitter, there is a foil, there is a kind of like a metallic metal finish, like a brushed metal. That's what it's called, brushed metal. So you get a lot of different options. And all of them will work. All right. Now is the time that you're going to have to decide which way you want your card to open, because this is the important part. When we go to attach it to our card, I want the stripes to go up and down. Now there's a good reason for this. We'll show you in a moment, but I want them to go up and down. So whichever way you want that card to open, I'm going to have my fold at the top. Just make sure that that's how you put it down on your table, so that when you put the square down, your stripes are going up and down. So we're going to foam tape that. Okay, so go ahead, add some foam tape. I am going to put a piece in the middle because I have a heavy piece going in the center and I don't want it to cave in. So I'm going to do it kind of like that and dab center right in the middle. Going to give me a border all the way around. Make sure I'm straight, good enough. And my stripes are going up and down. Okay, it's time to start decorating. So as part of your homework, I had you cut 2 of the circles, 2 of the snowy circles. I had you do foam tape. I'm using the 54 foot by Scrapbook Adhesive. It's the only one I use now. Scrapbook Adhesive, this is 54 foot, so this is what I call the normal thickness. If you want it thinner, there's the 108 foot, and it is just thinner. That's all. Okay, so for the homework, we had layer A from silver foil. So that is your layer A from silver foil. And then we had layer B from white cardstock. So that is your layer B. Now, sometimes it can be a little challenging trying to line these up. What I like to do is look for the pairs, so these duos here, and usually, that helps. Once you can find one of those pairs, that tends to help. So once I know which way it's going to go, I'm going to put a little dab of glue. These are a little bit challenging to attach. So I'm going to use some glue that I have a small little tip for. I've got to clean my tip. I don't want to use my sticky specks because I do find that they kind of tug a little bit, and I don't want to rip it. This is very fine. So I'm going to start primarily, don't do it in the air, primarily around the edge. I don't have to cover every little bit. Okay, if I don't, it's not the end of the world. I just saw a little piece that didn't fall out, so let's just poke that out. And then maybe a couple of dots on the snowflake. This glue dries clear. So again, I'm not too stressed if I get a little bit of seepage. It's not going to be the end of the world. I know, I love this dye. So pretty. And you can use it in so many different ways. That's what I love about it. You don't have to just use it in the way you think. Okay, so that is good enough. Not every snowflake is down, but it is okay. All right, I'm going to put that off to the side. I also asked you to bring some silver glitter paper, and I said that we are going to use this to cut it together. So what we're going to do is grab some silver. I just brought some scrap, and we're actually going to do 2 circles. We're going to cut 2 circles out of this. Okay, so, and it does cut good. I do want to talk a little bit about cutting it, but I'm just going to go over the circle first, and then I want to give you guys a little hint of some things I found when I was cutting it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to use my tonic circles, and I am going to use 2 different ones. So let me make sure. Okay, second of the biggest. This one is about 3 3/4. So I need 1 circle that is 3 3/4. And then I'm going to cut another one to go behind this. So that'll be the next one. That'll be the third from the biggest. So second biggest and third biggest. And this one is close to 3 1/2. So these are both going to be circles. Now you can use plain circles. You can use the scallop. That's what I'm going to be using. And look at that. I can pretty much get both of them like that. I just grabbed some scraps this morning. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to cut one. I think I'll do one at a time. Now, with this glitter paper, I like to go back and forth. Do it one way and then just go back. So give me a sec here. Sometimes glitter paper can be a little challenging. That one cut like butter. So we've got the big one. I don't even know where I put my circle dies now. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's right there. Put that away. And then we'll cut the small one. And that's just gonna fit. I didn't plan that at all. So a couple of little tips I want to talk about with the die. Oop, that one was a little sharp, but that's okay. Nobody will see that. If you struggle, as you can see, I like to use the iCrafter magnetic plate, which, as you all know, has been discontinued, but there are other brands out there now. I found that when I was die cutting some of these, especially depending on my paper, you might find that it's not cutting through quite as nicely. Go back and forth. I would go back and forth a couple of times for these intricate ones. But if you do struggle with it, don't use this, okay? Because this is a little squishy. And so sometimes that squishiness is not good. So what I would recommend is get rid of this, go back to your 2 plates, and you're going to notice a big difference with cutting. And it's just certain papers that happens to, and certain dies. All right, so I have 2 circles. One of them is 3 1/2. One of them is 3 3/4. I am going to take this, and we are going to glue it right onto there. Now, if you want, you can add foam tape behind it. What I did is I just added some foam tape on the snowflake area. So I just chose these little pop dots. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. It's okay. I'm just going to go around, and if I can see a little bit of it, I'm not going to stress. So I just put a few. I didn't go all the way around the edge. I have done that on another card I'm going to show you a sneak peek of. But for this one, I'm just putting them around the larger space of the snowflake. Okay, then we're going to put it on top. Just like that. It's a little shiny. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and foam tape it to the bigger circle. Okay, so that's going to give us a little scalloped edge all the way around. So we're just going to go ahead, take some foam tape, and we are just going to put it onto the big one. We're almost done this one, guys. Thank you. This one's fairly easy, really. The star of the show is the beautiful die. Then we're going to glue this on flat, because we've already done a couple of layers of foam tape. So we'll do this flat, right to the center of our square. And you know, I didn't even put much thought into how my snowflakes went. I do know that I'm going to have a die cut right in the middle. So if that matters to you, but I'll be honest, I just plunked it in. And then it's a little heavy, so we are going to let it sit there for a moment. And it was such beautiful colors. Now we're going to go to our die cut sheets while that's sitting. And up here, I'm going to use the one that says, Let It Snow. It has a whole bunch of greetings. I'm going to pull that out. I'm also going to pull out the holiday magic from this die cut sheet right here. That's going to be our main set of words. So now you can see why I chose to have my striped paper on the bottom going tall up and down, because now it's going to match my greeting. If I had done it this way, you can see that those lines are going to compete. You're going to have one going up and down, one going side to side. So that's why I wanted to make sure that the lines match this. Now I'm going to use a little scrap of my teal, because I have a little scrap. I'm going to use a little scrap of my teal to mat my greeting. That's just going to help it pop out. Now my greeting, as you can see, measures about 2.5. So I'm going to have it just a little bit longer, maybe just over 2.5. And again, you guys can kind of figure this out. I like to have little borders. So, oh, well, way to go. I cut that one. Oh, that's because I got the wrong one. That's the one. Oh, there's a delivery. You know what, Dawn? I have not looked up on there yet to see if there is any die cuts left, but if you can email us or call us after Crafty Hour, we can definitely check for you. We might even be able to order some. I haven't gone and looked in a little bit, so definitely email or call us after our live and we'll check. Now, what I just did is just took a little bit off, just so that it fit good. I know the distributor had a couple of things left from this, so we can always see. Yeah, perfect. Email Stacy. If we don't have them, we can see if we can order them, but that'll be the best way to get a hold of us. Okay. Now I'm going to trim this down for me because it's just a little bit too thick. So I'm just going to smidge it a little. There we go. And then we're almost done this one. That works. Okay. So you can mat it to however you want. I didn't give you any specific measurements for your matting. And then I'm just going to attach it right on the bottom of the circle. Now, if you put it on the bottom of the circle, you're going to see that you're going to need a little extra foam tape on each side. I do believe it is 3. Yep, it's 3. 3 times. So I'm going to take my pop dots and I'm going to put 3 on top of each other. 1, 2, and 3 on just the ends for now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 on that end. Looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm sure my fingers are getting in the way there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that then will just kind of straddle the bottom. Oh, perfect. Maybe I'll put a little piece in the middle just for some stability. That's good. Okay, so just like that. I know, 3 times. Got to do what we got to do, right? Now in the middle, we're going to put our holiday magic. And what I'm going to do for that is grab some more foam tape. And I'm going to double my foam tape. Just like that, maybe about 1.5 inches. Okay, so that is doubled 2 times high. I'm going to put it in the void, right in the middle of our circle. And then all I'm going to do is put that right on top. And now it doesn't really look like a circle. I filled that in. Okay. The last thing I did, which I am going to let you do because I'm just watching the time here and I want to get to the next card, is I took our little sequins here, our discs, and there are 4 sizes in there. So if you dump them out, there are 4 sizes. These are like a cupped, about that, guys. I was working on my emails and clearly forgot to shut that off. So find the largest ones. And then what we're going to do is put one of the largest one in each corner. Now I'm going to let you do that. That can be done after, not a problem. That is the only thing that is left to do with this card. Okay, are we good if I move on? You guys are good with that? Now there's other things you can use other than those discs if you don't want to. There are gems that you can use. As a matter of fact, can you grab those? I found some gems on the floor as I was walking in today that I'm like, these are perfect. Yep. And so these are something that you can, I don't have a lot of these left, but I noticed that these would be great too because they match perfectly. So if that, I don't know if Courtney has any, I just saw these as I was walking in this, in the classroom, but there is teal and white. So you can always use gems. If you don't want to, thank you, use the little discs. Okay, we're going to set this off to the side. I'm going to finish this. We are actually going to jump to card 3. I know that's going to be a little confusing, but I'm going to skip card 2 because card 2 is the easiest. We are going to move to card number 3. And that one we do have a little bit of work to do because we're going to create this card here. Okay, so this is a 5x7 card. It folds down into a 5x7, so you can put it into a 5x7 envelope, and then when you open it, it's I call it a double W, but I don't know what it's called. That's what I call it, a double W, because you've got a big W and a little w. You can do all of your writing on that. So this is what I want to do. Of course, you can decorate however you want it. I am going to go through this so that we can get it done. I have asked you to do a little bit more cutting for this one. So you should have 2 pieces of white cardstock. One was 7x12 and one was 4.5x12. That was your homework. So we have 2 pieces of white. And then we had a bunch of silver foil. So whatever silver foil you want to use, we needed 4 pieces that were 2 7/8 by 6 7/8. So that's these 4 pieces. We had 2 pieces that were 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. So there's those 2 pieces. And then 2 pieces that were 1 3/8 by 4 3/8. So if you have your homework, we are halfway there. Okay, I'm going to move out the card so that we can do the scoring. So what I want you to do is find a score board, or I like to use my trimmer. So find that. and we are going to do, I don't have enough room here. We're going to do scoring. Now make sure that you use your score blade, not your cut blade, if you are working on this one. And the first one we're going to do is this 7 by 12 one. So we're going to score it at 3, at 6, and at 9. Now always go a little lighter. You can always go multiple times over it, but I don't want you to cut your paper. So I just like to press a little bit. I can usually feel the resistance. There's the 3 first. Then we're going to go over to 6. Score again at 6. And then last one is 9. 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so I have 3 score lines, 3, 6, and 9. We'll put this piece aside. I know it's difficult to see those scores. We'll put this piece aside. We're going to move to our smaller one, which is the 4.5 by 12. And we're going to score that 3 times as well. So first score is going to be at 4.5. Score that. Next score is going to be at 6. Score that. And then the last one at 7.5. That's it. So this one also has 3 score lines. So big one, which is the 7 by 12, we've scored it at 3, 6, and 9. Smaller piece, we've scored it at 4.5, 6, and 7.5. Here is how we are going to cut. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I'm just looking to see that you use something with snowflakes on it.
I have no idea. Sorry. She came in looking scared. I thought something was wrong. My emails have been not happy. Okay, so let's start with our big one. And this is what we're going to do with our big one. I want you to take that middle and fold it towards you. Okay, so fold it like that. Kathy, you know what? I'm going to guess it was probably my 80 pound because I didn't find marshmallows. So I'm going to guess it was probably 80 pound. I didn't look at the, it was just white cardstock I had at home. But then you're going to fold these 2 away from you. So fold and fold. So that's what you should have looking down on it. Okay? Creates a W. Find your bone folder, give it a good score. The bone folder is a crucial tool to your folds. It is what helps your card stand up properly. And we have some flying wings. Okay, there is your W. Do, do, do. Repeat the same for the small one. Okay, so fold it towards you at the middle. And then away. This is not going to look as pretty. It's going to be like a very tall W, like that. And again, crease it. That's it. That's the hard work. That's all we have to do. As you can see now, this is just going to get attached to give us the double W. And the key is if you do any measurement changes, because I have played with this in other measurements, just watch this spot right here with the fold. You want to make sure that it's nice and flat, that doesn't go in there. So if you change your sizes, which you can always, I always deconstruct cards and change them. Just watch for that. Now we're going to decorate, but that's the hard part. So I'm going to start decorating with, I'm going to move these off to the side, my 4 silver panels. These are the large ones. These are the first ones I am going to do. So for the papers that I want you to do, I want to find the piece that looks like this. This is the silver and white snowflakes. Backside is the villages. So if you can find that one. And then I also want you to find the trees. back side is blue trees. So we're going to use both of these gray pieces. All right, and again, you should have 3 of each. I'm going to get some of this out of our way because I don't like to clutter our space here. We're going to cut 4 pieces. They're all going to be the same size. They're all going to be 2 3/4 wide by 6 3/4 tall. So those are really easy measurements. Really easy. But they won't work on that one. Now, I'm going to cut 2 at a time because I can. My trimmer will help me cut 2 at a time. Oh dear, unless you put foam tape on the back. And there is no directional to this, so it doesn't matter. So the first thing I'm going to do, which is just going to save me a step, is I'm going to take both my papers to 6 3/4. And you should have no problem cutting 2 at a time. And then I'm going to do 2 3/4, both my papers at the same time. 2 3/4, and I'm going to do it again. 2 3/4. That leaves me with this. I do not need it. I have 2 of each now. 2 of each. Those are the measurements. Okay, I'm going to quickly glue those on. Just want to watch the time here. And they have a silver partner, as you can see. So go ahead, glue those on. All right, Marilyn, thanks for popping in. We'll catch you on the replay. Oops. Okay, so then we'll put this one aside. I'm actually going to switch out to this glue. Be a little bit quicker. My glue's getting towards the end. That one. And then last one. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue it right onto my big cut here. So again, my big paper. Remember that I've got the W. Okay, so first one comes towards me, then it goes away, then it comes towards, then it goes away. I'm going to put my trees in the center fold. So just like that, the trees are going in the center folds. So the 2 in the middle are going to get trees. 2 on the outside are going to get snowflakes. Now you can alternate these if you want. You can use any of the papers. They all work really nicely together. Okay. So I have those 2. And then on the outside, and because these are non-directional, super important that if you do use paper that has a direction, that you're very cautious of that. But these ones are nice and easy. Doesn't matter which way they go, doesn't matter. Just takes a lot of the thinking out of it for us. Now you could also do this with glitter paper. Okay, so it's all on the same side. Of course, when we fold it, it creates that W, but all on the same side. The foil was part of your homework, Karen. So if you go to your homework, that is where the foils were all cut, part of that homework piece. So go and find that information and you will have them all right there. Okay. Now we've got our other foils that we pre-cut that were our squares, and that is the next piece we are going to use. So for this, we are actually going to use 2 papers because of the way we need to make the squares. They're going to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, so that doesn't get 2 to a sheet. So find both of the silver ones. Now you have some of these snowflakes that don't have silver foil, and you have some that do. You could use either or. The ones I'm using, the back is this gray large snowflake. But you can use either the one that has the stars that are shiny or the ones that don't have the stars that are shiny. I know, I thought that too, that flying nun, Karis, thought that as well. So, as you can see when you look at this, I can see I have an abundance of stars on the left and the right. The inside is a little bit more faded. It's almost like an ombre. So I'm going to take the side that has a lot of stars, the lot of stars side, to 4 1/4. I'm cutting both of mine at the same time, 4 1/4. I do not need these two pieces. I just need the piece that's 4 1/4, and I cut them at the same time. Okay, next one. Just realized that they were going opposite direction, but that's okay. 4 1/4. So I have 2 squares that measure 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Everybody should have 2 squares now. All right, last cut. Last cut is with one of those leftovers. So this is what was left over from here. We're going to cut 2 pieces that are 1 1/4 wide. 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. I know they're already 4 1/4 because I cut them. Okay. So just like we did a minute ago, we're going to attach these now to the silver. Again, the silver was part of your homework, so it should already be cut. Just to save us some time, glue that one. And we'll glue that one. And then 2 little strips. Okay. Now these pieces that we just glued are going to be going onto our small fold. Our big fold is already covered. So now if we bring this one in, you can see it's going to be exactly like what we just did with our big one. That goes there, that goes there. These 2 pieces go into the center. Okay, so go ahead once you've got those all glued together and attach it, and then we will start putting our fold together. So I've got this one going here. Of course, you can flatten it while you're working on it. It should pop back up. All right, and I know Courtney has posted her homework, so if you have not checked hers, please go to the event, and she's got it in the discussions. Her live is going to be 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Missouri time on Scrapbook and Memories page. So do make sure to have your homework done. I haven't seen her cards yet. Sometimes we show each other and sometimes it's a surprise. Oops. All right. Now I made sure that, as I was mentioning, that I find that this is like an ombre pattern. So my pattern does carry across. I have the heavier stars on the bottom, the lighter stars on the top, all the way across. All right, it's time to attach. So I'm going to move that off to the side. I'm going to bring in some of my double-sided tape. And the way this gets attached, oops, I need some glue up in that corner. The way this gets attached is halfway, right in the middle, we are going to attach it to the outer panels only. Okay, so this top one is going to glue on to the outer panels only. So what I do is I flip it over. I'm going to take some of my tape. This is probably 7 mil. And I know that this panel measures 3 inches. So I know that I can come over at least a couple of inches. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 2 strips like so. And on the other side, 2 strips. Like so. As long as those aren't more than 3 inches, I should be good. So if I flip it over, these are my big panels. I have tape on both sides. We're going to start on one side. We're going to remove the backing. And I'm going to just do one side at a time. And I'm going to just line it up right flush to the left edge, center top to bottom. Okay, so now it's attached just to the left edge. It's flush on the left, halfway. Maybe mine's not quite halfway, but it's close. Then I'm going to fold it all up, and I'm just going to attach the right side. So I folded it all on top of each other. Remove the backing. I like to use tape for this because it won't wiggle around and get out of order. Get crooked on me. And then, don't do it in the air like I am, but once you've got it folded, then all you're going to do is close that door and let it go where it goes. And then you've got your double W. All done. Now you can decorate, of course, however. I chose not to put anything in the middle. If you do want to put anything in the middle, make sure that it is flat because you do want it to close so that it goes into a 5x7 card. And you'll have a little bit of room because this is actually only 4.5, but you want to have a little bit. So for this now, I just went to our die cuts. I'll do this really quick. We might be able to squeeze in that last one. I chose the reindeer family right here because I love the teal. And we're going to do that with double foam tape. So I'm going to put a couple of pieces of double. I'm just going to fold it in half. Going to put that on the front, right on the bottom. Then I'm going to take my Winter Wishes. Love these. It's just so pretty. We're going to put some foam tape on that one. That's going to go up here in the top corner. I'm going to take a couple of snowflakes. I have these great snowflakes. So choose whichever two. I'm going to choose 2 different sizes. Doesn't matter. And we're going to put a pop dot there and there. We'll put one there and we'll put one there. So that's how I decorated the front. And then the back, I really liked these die cuts here. So this one here that's a snowflake with like a little banner in the center, this makes me happy. Oh, got an earthquake warning in the middle. Oh my gosh, Margaret, you are in California now. I guess that's kind of par for the course. A little bit too long. So this one, again, I am also doubling the foam tape. I'm going to put it right in the middle. And what I love about this is now I can use any of these or any of these. And look at that. It just fits right in the center. It's like it was made for it. So for that, I'm going to use my foam strip. Put it in the center. And then last but not least, I'm going to bring some more of my snowflakes. Let's see, I'll do one more, 3 snowflakes, because I like things in odd. I'm going to do one big one up in the top. Whoop. I'm going to do a medium one. And my snowflakes might be a little different than my original card. And then the last one, I'm going to double. And I'm going to slightly overlap this one up here, just a little. Now again, you can go back, you can add some of these onto it. You can also add some gems if you want. Your writing is going to be on the back. It's a typical 5x7 size card, folds up really nicely, and then it's got a lot of space for writing and using your patterns. All right, how did we do with the fold? All good? I am going to whip through the last one. I got about 7 minutes. I feel like I can quickly do it. So I am going to do it kind of at my speed. If I would suggest you guys just have a watch of this, because I don't want you guys to get stressed out. You can always come back. You like it. I'm so glad, Judy. Thank you. It's kind of a fun one. It would be a fun one for a birthday too, because it's got lots of room that you can write on it. Okay, I'm going to show you this one real quick. This is, did the little discs come in other colors? Yes, they come in a ton of colors. These are from Spellbinders. We also have them in teal. And we sold out, but that Ding Dong Doorbell was my Spellbinder order, and I know that there's some in there, but they come in tons of colors. Great question. Oh, I'm glad you like that fold. Okay, this card is probably the easiest of all. I am going to whip through it just to show you. You guys can always come back and watch it. I will also write down the measurements so that you can come back, or you can screenshot them as we go. So we're going to start with our A2 card. This was on your homework as card number 2. Everything is already cut for the most part. So this is card number 2. I had you get an A2 card. I had you also cut your silver to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 and cut layer A from the center. That was your step 2 of your homework. There's your card, and cut layer 2. So I have already done that. I am going to quickly do this because I'm going to challenge myself to get it done so I don't go over. Okay, so we've got that one. Perfect. Then I'm going to use this beautiful snowflake pattern. It is blue with the white snowflakes on both of the sides. And we are going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. That is your blue snowflake paper. So for that, to make sure that we're cut the right way, I'm going to put my snowflakes going up and down on either side. I'm going to take one of those to 4 and cut. That's cutting it in half. Next one over to 5 1/4. So I now have a blue snowflake that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to glue it onto my card with the snowflakes at the top. I'm glad you like that fold. It actually is quite easy. and play around with different sizes. You absolutely can deconstruct it. Just use scrap paper and then watch those folds that they don't bump into each other. Okay. Then we are going to take a scrap. Let's see if this scrap will work. A scrap of our paper. This is the snowflake paper, and I'm using that one that fits perfectly behind there again. And I am going to die cut it. No, the new guillotines are not in that order yet. They're not that quick, unfortunately. They're getting quick, but they're not that quick. All right. And again, it doesn't matter if this is scallop or not. So I just cut that out of there. This is why dies are so important. So important. Spellbinders is in Arizona, and quite often it takes several weeks. They have to pack it, and of course last week they were closed for many days due to the American Thanksgiving. Let's see, what snowflakes do I want to see? Maybe like that. And then of course it takes at this time of year about 4 or 5 days to get to the broker. Then it takes about 2 days to clear customs. So things are never as quick as I like them to be. Okay, I've just tacked that down onto the circle flat, and then I'm going to glue it flat to there. Okay, it's close to the top. I'm going to be covering the bottom. It's close to the top of my card, closer to the left side. Now, one thing I love about this paper here, oops, there's my other piece. One thing I love is that I can cut these into strips. Do you see how they're perfectly lined up? That is something I always watch for. So we're going to cut a strip of this. It means we're going to cut right underneath the words. Like that. Isn't that perfect? Right underneath the words. And we need it to be 5 1/4 long because that's the size of our card. Roberta, if you can call the store, I don't have anybody watching the video right now to take orders, so just give us a call right after, or you can call now. And I don't think we have the 12 by 12 in teal. That teal was actually from that pack, now that I read your comment. Okay, so this was your homework. This was the silver foil that was 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. That should fit perfectly, giving us silver on top and silver on the bottom. So again, if you did your homework, that is ready to go. We'll just put that on like that. Should be the same length. Both of them should be 5 1/4. And then we're going to take our foam tape and we are going to foam tape it on top. Okay, I'm going to be a minute over. I promise we're almost done this one. Now, when we put the foam tape on, it's going to go edge to edge of our pattern paper, and it's going to cover up the bottom of our circle. Just like that. Okay, now for my greeting, I'm going to use this one right here that says Season's Greetings. Love the foil on there. And I also, last thing as part of your homework was had you cut this piece. We haven't actually cut anything, Margaret. The only thing we've cut was that one paper. Now this, we just cut a strip of it. I'll say it's about 1 3/4. I just cut a strip so that I didn't get anything else except those words on the bottom. All the rest of it was your homework. So really that's all we've cut. Also part of your homework was the silver foil that was 1 1/2 by 3. That should fit your greeting. So again, let's just glue that on. I'm going to trim mine slightly, a little long. I like to have little borders. You might like to have bigger, but that's all we've cut now. Everything else was kind of homework for that. Okay, I just have to glue this on. For this, when we go to glue it on, because this strip is one layer higher, we have to get a little creative. This is going to go right here. So I want double foam tape at the top, single foam tape at the bottom. So single goes to the bottom. That is 1 times. And then we're going to take our foam tape, double's going to go on the top, just like that. And then we're going to put it right here. Going to go back to my die cut, so I'm going to pull out this big deer here. And this deer has to have double foam tape so that he sits kind of over top. And I'm only going to put double foam tape on his body, just like that. You can always add extra under there if you want. I'm just going to put them like that. And just attach it off to the side, the left side of your greeting. So you can see that this is super convenient, super easy, super fast to do this one. If you want, again, I took those 3 dots, put them at the top. And for that, I'm just going to show you so that I don't, oh, I want to show you that too. Just in case you've never used these and you might be like, well, how do I use them? There's 4 different sizes. I like to have it cut side down, so I'm just going to pick out 3 different ones. They do kind of stick together as well. I want to show you something I did too. I do 1, 2, 3 little dots, pick them up with my picker-upper. Different sizes. I don't overthink it. And that's it. Done. Now, I was playing with another card, which I decided would be a little too complicated to teach you. But I do want you guys to think outside the box, too. This was a card I was playing with, where I die cut a hole in the center of the card, put some acetate on it, and then did a couple of layers of the dies as well. So then I could have something peeking through here if I wanted. So I could have this inside, look at that. But I never finished the card. But it's just kind of a window card. So play around with that too. This die gives you so many options, so many. So we're gonna bring in all these cards. Thank you guys so much for letting me go over just a little bit. We've got 3 gorgeous cards there. You can always go back and watch this on replay. Just a reminder that we are going to be going live tomorrow morning with our next Crafty Hour. Super excited for this one. It is very, very limited. It's going live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 Missouri time. So please don't forget about that. We can't get more. This one, we really pushed it to get you guys more. And we also did a little bit of, alternating with some of the paper to ensure everybody could get that and the die, but tomorrow is going to be done. Thank you guys. I sure appreciate all the love, all the support. Thank you guys for joining us for our Crafty Hour. Tomorrow morning we are going live, and then don't forget, Courtney is going to do her Crafty Hour later this afternoon on Scrapbook and Memories page, 5 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Missouri time. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.